during that conversation, I shared my story with her. She said, Bonnie, I think your son might qualify for the M-CHIP program. And I remember saying to her, Kathy, I mean no disrespect, but I thought this was for welfare. I thought I had to be on welfare. She explained the program, and there were some questions. She had a staff member, Jenya, call, and literally the application took 15 minutes over the phone from start to finish. Within 24 hours, they called me and said that my son qualified. My son has asthma, and this is September, October is the worst time of the year for him. So it's just such a peace of mind knowing that even if it's temporary, for my family, it will be temporary. But just that safety net in the time of need. But, you know, I have to mention this out. I'm sitting next to this flag, this beautiful flag of the United States of America. No mother, no parent should have to choose mortgage and utility over health care. And thank you to Baltimore Healthcare Access. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I do think Bonnie's story really emphasizes exactly the point that Secretary Sebelius made, which is that the programs have changed dramatically over recent years, and people's understanding of what the eligibility levels are and who's eligible for the programs has not necessarily caught up with those changes. And that's one of the really big opportunities I think that we all have in moving forward, is to make sure that people understand that eligibility levels are way different than welfare eligibility levels. People can't afford private health insurance if they don't have an employer contribution by and large in this country. And so Medicaid and CHIP fill in that gap where people don't have the availability of that coverage at their workplace. So let me turn to Peter. Peter, people don't necessarily think of the United Way as an organization that gets directly involved in making sure that people have health insurance coverage. Can you talk a little bit about what it means for United Way to have accepted the challenge and what kinds of activities you're doing and why you went in this direction?
Sure, that's pretty easy. And you gave a little history about kind of what United Way is, being in about 1,300 communities, but it's not really a direct service provider. It is a connector. So it goes into workplaces and every year raises $4 billion to then distribute into communities and support the great organizations that you hear about, organizations that you saw up on the screen, organizations similar to Baltimore Healthcare Access. And we do it in partnership. So it requires working with the nonprofits, it requires working with the business community, and it really requires working with government in order to succeed at that. And so local United Ways are about that. And over the last